This is TOS Television, your digital-first Pan-African news network. I am Abigail Ukmade, and this is Africa Now. A video on national television on Sunday showed Guinea's President Alpha Condé surrounded by special forces soldiers who claimed they had seized power, dissolved the government and constitution, and closed its land and air borders. This follows hours after heavy gunfire erupted near the presidential palace in the capital Conakry on Sunday morning. The elite army that called themselves the National Committee for Reconciliation and Development said poverty and endemic corruption had driven his forces to remove President Alpha Condé from office. Outgoing ministers and heads of institutions have been invited to a meeting on Monday morning in Parliament, the soldiers in a statement read on the state broadcaster. Libyan authorities have released the third son of former leader Muammar Gaddafi from jail in the capital Tripoli, where he had been held since 2014. Saadi Gaddafi, who was commander of Libya's special forces and also famous for attempting a career as a professional footballer in Italy, fled for Niger during the NATO-backed uprising that ousted and killed his father, but was extradited to Libya in 2014 and has been imprisoned since then in Tripoli. Shortly after his release, Gaddafi departed on a plane to Istanbul. Libya's government of national unity said in a statement that it hoped his release would help national reconciliation. South Africa's jailed President Jacob Zuma's application for a medical parole has been granted, the government's Correctional Services Department said on Sunday. The 79-year-old, who is serving a 15-month sentence for contempt of court at the Escort Correctional Center last month, underwent unspecified surgery at an outside hospital where he had been sent for observation. Zuma's medical parole could only be revoked if he does not comply with the placement conditions, Correctional Services spokesperson says. And now to election matters. The polls for a presidential runoff in Sao Tome and Principe between the Archipelago's former infrastructure minister Carlos Villanova and former Prime Minister Guilherme Pousset da Costa closed on Sunday, with results expected to be announced on Monday. Seen as a model of parliamentary democracy off the coast of Central Africa, Sao Tome is a focus of interest by the oil industry, with several firms exploring in the hope of finding significant reserves. The country's 123,000 registered voters will choose a successor to 79-year-old Evaristo Cavallo, who did not seek a 5-year term in the largely ceremonial posts. Voting for members of Somalia's lower house of parliament has been moved to late November. This would delay the indirect elections of a president. This follows a new timetable that had been drawn out by an election implementation commission. This means that voting for lawmakers by elders, which had been due to be completed this week, with the election of a speaker and swearing in of members of parliament happening next week in time for them to pick a president on October 10, will now be between October 1 and November 20th. This is your digital first Pan-African news network, TOS Television. You are watching Africa Now. We move to business after the break, so stay tuned.
There are certain moments in the day when I need my me time to just unwind and indulge.
What is this?
The Cadbury goodness is in every pack of Cadbury 3-in-1 hot chocolate, making you feel cheerful and pleasant.
Now available in 30 grams and 450 grams.
Welcome back in business. South Africa's rand strengthened early on Monday after a disappointing U.S. job report made investors push back expectations for when the Federal Reserve will begin tapering stimulus measures. At 0650 GMT, the rand traded at 14.3000 against the dollar, around 0.2% firmer than its previous close. The rand rallied on Friday after the U.S. jobs report came in below market expectations, as the Fed had made a labor market recovery a condition for paring back its pandemic-era assets purchases. And away from business, the Tanzanian government has suspended another newspaper accused for repeatedly publishing false information and deliberate incitement for 30 days, the government spokesperson says. Spokesperson Jason Msiwagwa said Raya Mwema, a leading Swahili language weekly, cited 3 recent stories, including linking a gunman who killed 4 people in a rampage through a diplomatic quarter of Tanzania's main city, Dar es Salaam, to the ruling party Chama. President Samia Suluhu Hassan, who took office in March, pledged to uphold media freedoms quashed by her predecessor John Magufuli that banned several newspapers during his 6-year rule. And still in Tanzania, several members of the country's main opposition party that are pushing for constitutional reform have been arrested. The arrest of the party members follows the detention of Chadema leader Freeman Mbowe on terrorism charges that his party have branded a bid by President Samia Suluhu Hassan's government to muzzle the opposition. The opposition says President Samia Suluhu is continuing the oppressive rule of her late predecessor John Magufuli. Sudanese authorities are investigating the shipment of a cargo of 72 boxes of weapons that arrived by air from Ethiopia that they suspect were destined for use in crimes against the state, and Sudan's state news agency SUNA reported on Sunday. Ethiopian Airlines said the weapons that had arrived in Ethiopia from Moscow in May of 2019 were hunting guns that were part of a legal verified shipment. Tensions between Sudan and Ethiopia have been running high due to a spillover of the conflict in Ethiopia's northern Tigray region and Ethiopia's construction of a giant hydropower dam on the Blue Nile. And moving on to sports, Tunisia overcame Ivory Coast 78-75 at Kigali Arena in the Rwandan capital on Sunday to retain the Afro Basketball Continental title they won on home soil 4 years ago. With the victory, Tunisia became the first team to win back-to-back Afrobasket titles since Angola achieved the feat in 2009. Senegal took the bronze medal at the 2021 Afrobasket Continental Championship in Kigali, Rwanda on Sunday, following a comfortable 86-73 victory over Cape Verde. And that is it on Africa Now. For more updates, to visit our website at www.tostvnetwork.com. Follow us and like our social media handles on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And remember to subscribe on YouTube to stay with us and enjoy more programs on TOS Television Network. I am Abigail Ukwande. Thanks for watching.